I want to read more manga. While I'd like to, I prefer to actually buy the book. I like the feeling of flipping through the pages, you know? Most manga can range in price from $10 to $25, and I just don't have the funds to buy every manga I take an interest in. I'm also not the kind of person who necessarily prefers to watch the anime instead, since I do find a lot of value in how the original authors and artists envisioned it. In addition to this, I also don't really take much issue with book to TV or movie adaptation. I understand there was no way anyone would have been able to fit every detail in the Harry Potter books into the amount of films they made, and while I'm sure the fans would have loved 30 movies, the price of making it alone would have been ridiculous. When a book I like gets turned into a movie, I do go see it, compare what changed, and then move on. I've never been angry at any adaptation before. Not even the Japanese Death Note movies. Now all of that brings me to a manga that while I haven't finished, I am buying and reading, slowly. A Centaur's Life. It's a slice-of-life comedy about an alternate version of Earth where humans just evolved different. And in doing so, they branched off into different kinds of humans. Angel folk and dragon folk, centaurs, bipedal wingless races, and merfolk. So to put it simply, monster girls. We have monster girls here. What makes this series fun though is just the society that's presented in the books. Everyone is human, just considered a different race, and race relations are a part of the series. For example, centaurs were enslaved in some parts of the world, so now it's seen as a hate crime to ride one, and Antarctic snake people are a dying race and discriminated against in media. Not every house was built with every race in mind, so centaurs especially have a lot of trouble maneuvering. It's a very interesting world that Kei Murayama has created. And it got an anime! Woo! When I heard we were getting this in anime form, I was so excited. The book is good, so the anime has to be at least okay, right? Yeah, it's fine so far. What, you thought I was gonna find a way to hate it after one episode? No. Though I did notice something strange about the structure of the first episode. In the very first episode of the anime, we are shown that the class that our main characters are in is going to be putting on a play. Hime, the centaur girl whose life the book is about, is going to play the princess. Nozomi, the dragonfolk girl, is going to play the prince, and Kyoko, the goatfolk girl, does nothing because she doesn't give a single fuck about anything. Fun slice-of-life school things happen, but there's one problem. Hime is heavy, considering she's a fucking horse, so the set may not hold up if she stands on it. The class president tells the guys working on the set to reinforce it more than they already have, just in case. On the day of the show, all seems to be fine until the end when Hime is up on top of the tower and she can hear the wood starting to crack. It topples and Hime saves her friend from serious fall damage. It adapts that part of the manga perfectly. There's just one thing I noticed. This isn't how the manga starts out. How the manga starts is with Hime getting asked out on the train, running away and telling her friends she's self-conscious about her horse vagina. Her friends tell her that all vaginas are weird, but Hime is still feeling down, so her friends show her their vaginas. Okay, I completely understand why they decided against using this as the opening for the first episode of the anime. It doesn't do anything but let us know that these characters do indeed have vaginas. The scene isn't really all that fanservice-y either, other than one panty shot, which is commendable considering they're literally looking at each other's vaginas. Now, this isn't the only thing they changed, though the other half of the episode confuses me a little bit more. After the first part of the episode, the teacher explains how evolution happened, and how it led to so many different races, and while it is probably impossible that humans would have evolved this way under those specific circumstances, it's still an okay explanation. This is not a fantasy story, and that's what the scene is trying to hammer in. The looming government officials watching the teacher's lecture also hint that while the world may like to think everything's fine, it may not really be that simple. The teacher explains the 4 different classifications for the human race and talks about the various differences. She then says something that really hit me the first time I read it. If humans were all 4-limbed creatures with only slight differences in skin and hair color, they certainly would have had less trouble with war and violent racism. Now, I live in the South, so I know that is certainly not true, but it is an interesting thought. After that, we're treated to the girls running, and Kyoko being shown to not be all that athletic, in contrast to her friends who, one is relatively athletic and the other is a fucking horse. This is where we are first shown the concept of race in this world, and it's not just so we can have cat ears and beautiful wings, it's also a very complex world that has a lot of racial tension, and even today the ripples of that tension are shown to be around. A tired Kyoko introduces us to that by declining Hime's offer to carry her because it would be seen as a hate crime. Again, this scene is perfectly adapted. Now, here's where things are a little strange. That scene is from Chapter 2 of Book 1, while the classroom scene is from Chapter 2 of Book 5, and the play is from Chapter 1 of Book 1. Now, I'm no stranger to anime rearranging the order of a story to make dramatic payoffs happen at the end or make events seem more coherent, but I honestly don't understand this decision. If you're going to put the explanation of the races in the episode, why not start with it? Maybe to make us think there is no explanation and we as anime fans will just accept Monster Girls because it's becoming more popular and showing up often. They made the choice to rearrange the order, so why not start out with the thing you already put in the episode? It was confusing, but ultimately doesn't hurt the enjoyment of this episode at all, and was just something I picked up on from having read the manga. It makes me wonder if they'll keep changing the order of events, but since it's a slice of life story, nothing will really be hurt by that. I highly recommend this manga and also suggest watching the anime, even if I did spoil the first episode. Thanks for watching, everyone, and if you like this video, please give it a like and share it with anyone you think would enjoy it. Also, tell me who your favorite monster girl is down in the comments, and subscribe for more amazing anime content.